My name's Dan Leftwich. I'm an attorney who spent about 20 years in Washington, D.C. with a law firm that was a plaintiff's class action antitrust litigation firm that took on monopoly power, tried to fight against corporate dominance in the marketplace. I'm here today representing an organization called Free Speech for People. If you go to freespeechforpeople.org, you'll see that we are responding to the Citizens United case by trying to work towards a constitutional amendment to make it very clear that the First Amendment is for people, real people like you and me, and not for the corporations. Now, I have a journalism degree and a law degree, so I look at these things, the Citizens United case, from a kind of a different perspective than some. Thanks to the pro-corporate dominance of this Supreme Court, in many ways after Bush v. Gore in 2000, and Ken Gordon, who I'm so proud to be standing up here with, he mentioned a line of cases from the 70s on to last year, really cementing this corporate power in our political system. Democracy is at risk. Now, many people will say that, and it's hard to see the specifics about why that is. Justice Holmes said there's a marketplace of ideas. It's essential to democracy. The best test of truth is the ability of an idea to get itself accepted in the competition of the marketplace. Thanks to Citizens United and a long series of opinions granting corporate personhood and, as Ken said, human rights to corporations, the marketplace of ideas is under serious threat. Now, how this works is, it's just like any other market. I know a lot about dominant forces, monopoly power, how it corrupts markets. What it does is, eventually it squeezes out the smaller competitors. And in this case, it's you and me. It's our voices. We're the smaller competitors that the founders of the country knew were essential to a robust, vibrant democracy that depends on all of us having a voice. That voice is being drowned out by monopoly power. I know over 20 years what a conspiracy to monopolize a market looks like. And in this case, there is a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy from the giant corporations, media giants, who are dominated by the same corporate interests, and their ability to essentially infiltrate government at all levels. Now, you can see this through various means. You see the dominance in the mass media of certain voices only pushing corporate messages. But you also see it in the attacks on the internet. They see very clearly that the internet is a threat, because the internet enables people like you and me to come up with new ideas about how to change things and to connect with other people around the world. You see it in the response of the of the Obama administration to the WikiLeaks situation. It's a serious threat to an open dialogue and an open exchange of information, transparency in government. And so I'm sorry to say that even this administration is protecting the corporate power. Now, Citizens United has done something else, and it has cemented a system of bribery and extortion. It's made it legal. Essentially, it used to be that if you wanted to prosecute bribery, you had to see that the money exchanged hands in exchange for a political decision or favoritism. Now you don't have to have money exchanging hands. It's a vast signaling system. All a corporation has to do is say, I've got $10 million. I can spend it for you, or I can spend it against you. Right? Politicians aren't stupid. They see people of good faith, like Russ Feingold, who for decades has been in favor of open elections, limits on campaign spending, and he was a victim of this new environment. And so when bribery and extortion are essentially legal, this is a major threat to our democratic system. Now, what can we do about this? Well, we can look to the national government. We can look to Congress and hope that we elect enough Democrats, I guess. I'm here on a nonpartisan basis. But that's a logical response. Well, how many Democrats do you have to elect? You've seen that there were large majorities in Congress and the president as a Democrat, and how much change really has been affected. Okay? Whenever they tried to do something fairly bold, it was squashed. Now, in part because this dominance of the marketplace, this dominance of the media, and, I'm sorry to say, a stand down of government, a stand down of antitrust enforcement, a stand down of regulatory power over the media markets, okay? That sends a message to the corporate powers that, as Ken said, you can do whatever you want. It's carte blanche. It's a free field, okay? Now, the Obama administration is not immune from this kind of pressure. We've seen on February 7th, the president is due to meet with, of all organizations, the United States Chamber of Commerce, which just spent $300 million of corporate money, undisclosed corporate money. Some of it we now understand is from foreign governments. They spent $300 million to gut his presidency and to end every attempt at any meaningful change. They even opposed the 9/11 responders health care bill, okay, because it would have changed tax rules for some corporations. So every level of government is affected by this decision. And now I have news to report that some of you may have heard on Wednesday. Common Cause filed a petition with the Department of Justice to seek recusal of Justices Scalia and Thomas from the Citizens United case, in part because there's information that has come to light that, and these are allegations at this point, Common Cause is asking the Justice Department to investigate those justices for allegedly attending political strategy sessions, secret political strategy sessions run by Koch Industries. The billionaires who have funded the Tea Party, who have funded all of these shadow groups that are basically front groups, so that they can spend unlimited campaign funds distorting the truth. They don't even have to be worried about accuracy, because as Mark Twain said, a lie can get halfway around the world before the truth gets its shoes on. Okay, and that's exactly what's happened. They send the lies out, they intimidate through these attack ads, and then they know that by the time you chase them down, by the time you pierce the veil of all these front companies, you're left with an empty bag, right? So what can we do? Well, one thing we can do is what you're doing right now. Okay? As Ken said, you are the last line of defense. And in my view, you're the best line of defense. Okay? There's all kinds of things that you can do. You've chosen to come over here on a blustery winter day and stand with your fellow real human beings, real people, to express yourselves, to exercise your rights of free speech. One of the things that you can do is Free Speech for People, and I know that Move to Amend and other organizations are trying to promote a constitutional amendment. And there are several different variations. Find one that makes sense to you. Okay? Support it. Ask your legislators to support it. Ask your legislators to pass a resolution calling on Congress to send them a constitutional amendment that will be enacted in Colorado. Okay? Other things that you can do are to make it clear that state and local governments still have the power to prosecute bribery and extortion when it looks very much like it's being enabled by Citizens United. Okay? As we go into 2012, we're going to find that they're getting more and more brazen. They're going to get more and more emboldened to just dominate and essentially give the money to politicians or overtly threaten them with defeat. Okay? Put the crosshairs on them. Right? And so state and local governments, prosecutors, can, in fact, look for ways to prosecute that kind of activity when it goes completely over the line. Other things that you can do are to essentially support a corporate awakening that is going on around the planet. Okay, there are corporations. Not all corporations are evil. Not all corporations only have the bottom line as their only mandate. There are corporations that are essentially trying to do what's good for the earth. They're trying to do what's good for democracy, and they should be supported. You have the power to withhold your money or spend your money, but you have to have the courage of your own convictions. You have to actually do that and make it clear to them why you're doing that. Okay? Support media organizations that are independent. And most of all, what I like to tell people is, remember, energy is everything. Your energy is everything. We saw in the Obama presidency that it was enacted essentially with your energy and the energy of millions of people. And when that energy has been withdrawn or it's waning, we see the results in the other direction. Regardless of what anybody tells you about what you should do and who you should support, find out what your energy makes you support, where you just feel that passion that you need to do this. Okay? Find a group, Free Speech for People, Move to Amend, Common Cause. There's all kinds of groups out there that would love your energy. Okay? And connect. Connect with others, because that's how this is going to change. The WikiLeaks response and those who support WikiLeaks gave a very clear indication of how this response is going to happen. Okay? It's going to be viral. You're going to connect with others. Other people are going to connect around the world. Keep your vision globally and locally. Right? And I like the line in the movie Castaway where Tom Hanks has spent years on a deserted island, and he's finally rescued, and he's on the plane coming back to the United States, and he's got ice in his glass, and he's alive, and he says, all I have to do is keep breathing, because the sun will shine, and you never know what the tide will bring in. And I believe that. Okay? Just keep breathing, keep connecting, keep following your energy, and the tide will bring something in good. Okay? Thank you for being here.